Greetings, everybody. Welcome back. I am the Eagle fan, and this is Wednesday Weekly, the September 23rd, 2020 edition. Hopefully, I'm live on both Facebook and YouTube. If not, I will be uploading this to YouTube later. Still trying to figure that out a little bit, but that's just me. Hope everybody's having a good week out there. Sorry about missing last week, but had a bunch of work going on last week, so time was not on my side. I believe that's a song. Okay, what do we have this week? That's a great question. We are going to start out over in England. There was a little bit of a fire over there. This was in the area of Mendlesham. There were 3 different fire departments that had to report to this. When they got there, what did they find? They didn't find it wasn't a house burning. It was a pile of chicken manure. It took them 3 hours to put out that fire. It wasn't just a pile. It was 22 tons worth. I don't know where you get that much. Apparently they have a lot of chickens over there. But that had to be one messy job. I do not envy them in the least. Now we're going to come back across the pond here. We're going to go over to Michigan, Harrison Township. There is a river near there, which is called the Clinton River. The authorities are investigating reports lately of a possible crocodile sighting within that river. So if you're in that area, be careful. Don't just stick your toes in to wade. Make sure there's nothing there that's going to take them toes with it. Apparently, though, it's only about 3 feet long. They say maybe it's just a caiman and not a crocodile. But still, that can mess you up a little bit regardless of which it is. Next up, we're going to go to what ended up being a little bit of a clickbait headline, if you ask me. This was in Pennsylvania about a woman who bowled a 300. This was not just a woman, not just any old woman. This was a Miss Sarah Lyons. Congratulations to her. She is 96 years old. Here's where it becomes a little bit of clickbait, if you ask me. It wasn't really a 300. Apparently there's something that they call a no-tap 300. I've never heard of that. It's been a while since I've bowled, but I used to bowl before. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a throat thing going on with my cough still there. I didn't want to break into a coughing fit in the middle of this. This no-tap 300 apparently means that in every frame, she got at least 9 pins down. To me, that's a little bit of a clickbait there. I saw 96-year-old woman bowls 300, and I thought, wow. Granted, she still did well, especially for a 96-year-old, regardless of man or woman. But calling that a 300 kind of takes a little bit away from people who actually did get 300s. Especially if there was a 96-year-old woman that got an actual 300, they wouldn't want someone else getting credit for that. Sorry about that. I just have a little bit of an issue with that when it's a kind of a misleading headline and event. Still, more power to her. She's 96 and she's able to get out there and bowl. Congratulations to her. She had a great game. We're going to go over to, let's bring up the picture. It's a cowboy. So where do you think we're going? Texas? Maybe Oklahoma? Nebraska? Montana? Actually, we're going to Illinois, just outside of Chicago. There was a cowboy that they call the Dreadlock Cowboy who was arrested recently for riding his horse onto a highway. But much as things are nowadays in terms of clickbait, I found out as I researched a little bit more that it wasn't just that. He was actually doing this. He's trying to get attention towards filling out the census. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody doing that, but hey, more power to him. He was trying to get attention for that, and he did this stunt. He was then promptly arrested, but it sounds more like it may have been a little bit of a setup, especially when I saw a picture and it looked like they had traffic stopped. So how much of it was real, how much wasn't, I don't really know. How many of you out there, especially now, probably feeling a little bit pent up? You've been stuck at home, especially with everything going on right now with the pandemic, the quarantine that's getting let up, but we still can't travel a lot of places. How many of you want to go in an airplane? Well, apparently quite a few in Australia. There was an Australian Airlines, this is Qantas Airlines, had a flight to, they haven't had the flight yet. They put the tickets up for sale for a flight to nowhere. It actually is a flight that takes off in Sydney and it will land in Sydney. This is because they have an issue right now where they cannot travel state to state. So that's not really happening here. It's booked as a scenic tour. It's going to fly over the Great Barrier Reef and other sites for people to sightsee. The tickets, though, they went for an incredible sight. They were from anywhere from $575 to over $2,700, depending upon which class you got. Were you first class or were you in the back in economy? That's a lot of money. I can't imagine spending $2,700 to go on a sightseeing tour in what is a regular passenger airline. It's not a special plane, it's a regular Qantas airline plane. I've been in planes. I've seen what the views look like out the window. Yeah, they can look nice, but those tiny little windows are usually scratched up, and I don't think I'd want to spend that much just to take off and come back to the same place. But maybe if I'd been pent up that much and I hadn't had a chance to get out, maybe I'd be happy to. Just not $2,700 worth happy. Next, we're going to go to England. There was a man that got on a bus. The bus was going from Swinton to Manchester. He had a weird looking face mask on. As it turns out, he sat down and soon the face mask started to slither away from his face. He was wearing a snake wrapped around his head as a face mask. That's a little bit crazy. But maybe my wife might be interested in a face mask like that. I know she loves snakes. If you don't see me next week, that joke's probably why. Now that we've had that, how about a little bit of cute news? We want to see something cute here. There is a golden retriever that has his own Instagram site. He's got over 180,000 followers. Maybe I'm a little jealous of this dog. What's special about him? Well, all dogs are special. I love dogs. I'm a dog lover, as you've probably seen with my pictures of the dogs. This dog has a genetic condition where there's a black spot on his face. Everything else looks fine. They're not reporting any health issues or anything with him. I would love to adopt a dog looking like that. He's very cute. Gives him a little bit of personality too. He's living with his family down there in Texas. Quite happy. Good for them. But wow, 186,000 followers. His name, if you are interested, is Enzo Viola. And in Instagram, it looks like, in case you do want to follow him, it is Mr. Enzo Viola. That's ENZOVIOLA. So if you do want to follow him, give him a follow. I think I actually might after this. Now, the sad part of the show, our weekly shame of the week. This brings us back down to Florida. It's Florida man again. This one is a 67-year-old man who was at a rally, a political rally, and this man, this Norbert Logston of Orange Park, was participating in this rally, and he exchanged words with a 12-year-old girl. This girl was in her car. Her family was going to a nearby restaurant. They were just waiting to be able to turn into the restaurant. And apparently some words were exchanged between him and the girl. They pulled into the parking lot. It didn't stop there. He chased after them, or went after them. I don't know how fast the 67-year-old guy was chasing them. And then with the flag that he was carrying, he stabbed that flag through the window at the young girl. Apparently it may have gotten her. She wasn't hurt majorly. It was just more of a startle than anything else, I believe. But still, you're a 67-year-old man. She's a 12-year-old girl. You're going to go try to physically attack this person? That's just disgusting. This is what is wrong with people in this world. Everyone is allowed their opinion. Feel that some 12-year-old girl didn't like your opinion, there's no need for you to go and attack them. Physically attack them. That is just uncalled for, and Norbert needs to do a little bit of time maybe in jail or in prison. Let him see what it's like there for a little bit. Maybe he'll be the one that'll be on the business end of any of those attacks at that point in time. Especially let him know that he attacked a 12-year-old girl. He should be embarrassed. His whole family should be embarrassed. Anyone that lives in the same block as him should be embarrassed for him. So, if you see him and if you know him, tell him he's a cretin. Truly is. So that brings us to the end of our little bit of world news today, or this week, this past 2 weeks. Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that. I felt it starting to tickle a little bit in the back there, and these coughing spells are still a little serious when they start, so I don't want to be doing that in the middle of this. What's been going on with the EagleFan this week? I've done a couple of YouTube videos, a couple of reactions. I plan on doing more. I'm looking to start doing more, much more often. I've also got some other things going on in the background that hopefully I'll be able to reveal next week. Some changes to the website, hopefully, and some changes to how I do some of these shows. I know I need to get better at it. I'm trying. Give me comments and suggestions, and I'll see what I can do. One of the things that's going to be going on shortly. Let's go back to Soaring and Scratching. We will return. We're returning soon. Tomorrow night, we are doing some taping. I have no idea why I was randomly pointing at the screen. We will be doing some taping tomorrow, and hopefully we'll start releasing some videos after that. One of the videos will be different than our reaction videos, and maybe we'll get a reaction video or two done in there too to start releasing through the week. So keep an eye out for that. I've got some other ideas for soaring and scratching as well that I'll be discussing with the one and the only Evil Chicken. That's who you all come to see in those videos, and I don't blame you. That's who I come to see too. So I'll see what I can run by him and see where things go. So with that, that pretty much wraps us up for this week. I've had a little bit of a rough week with work the past couple of weeks with a lot of it. But life is what it is. So I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight. And say, please, be good to everybody. And keep your eyes to the sky. I will see you guys next week.